Most people think the United States built the atomic bomb just to end World War II, but that's not actually the full story. Behind that first nuclear weapon, behind Trinity, Hiroshima, the whole Manhattan Project, there's a chain of fear, refugees, and spies that almost nobody talks about. So how did America really get nuclear weapons? Why did scientists beg the president to build an atomic bomb before Hitler could? And how did one secret test in the desert change every nuclear country that followed? In this episode, we're going inside the Manhattan Project, secret cities, impossible science, the Trinity test, and we'll see how the United States accidentally kicked off the nuclear arms race every other country still has to live with today. To understand how the United States got the bomb, we have to rewind to when nuclear weapons were just an idea on paper, and everyone was suddenly terrified that Nazi Germany might get there first. Back in the early 1930s, nuclear physics is basically a playground for a handful of nerds in lab coats, until one discovery in Europe makes people realize the atom isn't just tiny, it's dangerous. In 1938, a German team figures out nuclear fission, splitting the uranium atom and releasing a burst of energy so intense that some scientists think, wait, if this chain reaction runs away, we're talking about a bomb like nothing on Earth. And here's the twist. That discovery happens in Nazi Germany, just as Hitler is tightening his grip on Europe, while many of the world's best physicists are Jewish or anti-Nazi and are being forced to run for their lives. Some of those scientists end up in the United States and Britain, and they bring a terrifying message. If Hitler gets an atomic bomb before the Allies do, it might literally be game over. One of them, Leo Szilard, becomes obsessed with stopping a Nazi bomb. He drafts a warning letter, gets Albert Einstein to sign it, and sends it straight to the President of the United States. Roosevelt reads the letter. He doesn't panic on radio. He doesn't announce anything. He quietly orders a small committee to investigate. That tiny step is the seed that will grow into the Manhattan Project. Quick question for you. If you were in Roosevelt's position, told that Hitler might be working on an atomic bomb, what would you do? Start a secret nuclear program like the Manhattan Project, or try to ban this research completely? Drop your answer in the comments before we see what he actually did next. The United States chooses the first path. As World War II escalates, that tiny committee mutates into a massive, top-secret operation to actually build the bomb, the Manhattan Project. And to run it, the US picks two very different men, a hard-driving army general named Leslie Groves and a brilliant, complicated physicist named J. Robert Oppenheimer. Groves is all about deadlines, security, and concrete. Oppenheimer is about ideas, theories, and getting the smartest people on Earth in the same room. Together, they're about to build an entire hidden world just to make one weapon. They don't just build a lab, they build secret cities, entire communities where thousands of people work behind barbed wire, not even knowing what they're actually helping to create. In Oak Ridge, Tennessee, they build massive plants to separate out a rare type of uranium. In Hanford, Washington, they build reactors to create a brand new element, plutonium. And in Los Alamos, New Mexico, Oppenheimer's team has one job: turn all of that into an actual bomb. Most workers are told just enough to do their job. It's important war work. It'll help end the war. Don't ask questions. They clock in, they turn dials, they sign secrecy forms, never knowing they're part of the first nuclear weapons program. And the whole time, there's this ticking clock. Nobody in America really knows how far Germany's own nuclear efforts have gone. For all they know, the Nazis could be just months ahead or already building their own bomb in secret. Inside Los Alamos, the challenge is brutally simple to say and insanely hard to solve. How do you take uranium and plutonium and turn them into a bomb that actually works on the first try. Two designs rise to the top. One is the simpler gun-type uranium bomb. You literally fire one chunk of uranium into another to make a critical mass. The other is a trickier plutonium bomb that has to be squeezed evenly from all sides in a perfect implosion. The gun-type design looks reliable enough that they don't even bother to test it before using it. The plutonium design? Way more unstable. If the explosions don't line up perfectly, the core fizzles, and the whole thing becomes a very expensive firework. So Los Alamos becomes this pressure cooker of failed experiments, new ideas, and sleepless nights. Physicists and engineers are literally inventing modern nuclear weapons design from scratch, while a world war rages in the background. By mid-1945, they're confident the plutonium design should work, but should isn't good enough when you're about to drop this on a real city. They need proof. And that's where Trinity comes in. The test site is a place with a cheerful name, Jornada del Muerto, the journey of the dead man, out in the New Mexico desert. Scientists and soldiers gather before sunrise, lying in trenches, putting on dark goggles, waiting to see if this thing even works. They start the countdown. 10, 9, 8. Some people joke nervously about igniting the atmosphere. Others are just hoping they won't accidentally blow themselves off the map. At 5:29 a.m., the switch is thrown. For a heartbeat, there's nothing. And then the desert turns into daylight. A fireball roars up, a shockwave slams into the observers, and a mushroom cloud rises over New Mexico. General Groves looks at it and thinks in military terms. It works. We've got the ultimate weapon. Oppenheimer thinks in very different terms, later quoting, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." But whatever you think of it, triumph or tragedy, there's no going back after Trinity. The United States now has a working nuclear weapon, and the rest of the world knows it's only a matter of time before it's used. Less than a month later, on August 6, 1945, a uranium bomb nicknamed Little Boy is dropped on Hiroshima. One city, one bomb. Tens of thousands of people die in seconds. 3 days after that, a plutonium bomb called Fat Man hits Nagasaki, another city, another mushroom cloud, another wave of unimaginable destruction and radiation. Within days, Japan surrenders. World War II ends. For many Americans at the time, the atomic bomb looks like a horrifying but necessary shortcut to stop the war without invading Japan. But now, the rest of the world has seen what nuclear weapons can do. The United States has a power nobody else has, and that's exactly why nobody else is willing to let America keep that monopoly for long. The Soviet Union scrambles to build its own bomb. Britain, France, and eventually China decide they need their own nuclear weapons too. Later, new players like Israel, India, Pakistan, and North Korea will find their own paths to the bomb, sometimes with help, sometimes by stealing secrets, sometimes by defying the entire world. So when people say America built the bomb to end the war, that's only part of the story. The deeper truth is this. The United States was so afraid of someone else getting nuclear weapons first that it became the first country to cross that line and pulled the rest of the world across with it. In the next episode, we'll look at the country that refused to let the United States hold that power alone, the Soviet Union. How did they go from having no bomb to shocking America with their first nuclear test years earlier than anyone expected?